definitely did not think I was going to get a tattoo today. This is a surprise to me.
Let me get over there to hold it.
My name is Lucie Fink, and I'm a Johns Hopkins University pre-med neuroscience major turned YouTuber who's fascinated by the world's endless career path options. I'm a full-time content creator, but I love discovering other people with cool jobs, learning how they got that role in the first place, and seeing if I have what it takes to work a day in their shoes. My curiosity has led me to the stage at Radio City Music Hall, deep inside a cranberry bog, to Ben & Jerry's headquarters, and so much more. And today I'm at Ephemeral Tattoo in Williamsburg, Brooklyn to try becoming a tattoo artist's apprentice. Let's go on the job. I recently asked myself, what's a job that you could never imagine doing? And that's what led me here.
Hi, my name is Sarah Michelle. I'm an ephemeral tattoo artist, and I've been working here for a little over a year. Today, Lucie's going to be assisting me like an apprentice would.
Ephemeral tattoo is not for everybody. In fact, as I learned from Sarah Michelle, the tattoo artist I shadowed, some people in the tattoo world might scoff at the idea of an ephemeral tattoo because it is, well, ephemeral.
I thought it was a little silly at first. Most tattoo artists are very they don't really want to hear about it.
Developed by chemical engineers, ephemeral tattoos are administered with 100% vegan ink that fades over time, between 9 to 15 months typically. So yes, it's a real tattoo. Same machines, same needles, they feel exactly the same. It's just that the ink is made to fade. I actually found the concept quite intriguing too, as someone who has questioned getting a tattoo in the past, but doesn't feel like I would want to get something inked on my skin permanently. When I decided that I wanted to try becoming a tattoo artist, naturally my first thought was, I need a victim. I mean, a subject. I made a post on my Instagram asking my followers if anyone was interested in getting an ephemeral tattoo for free in exchange for being part of our video, and the emails started pouring in. I sorted through them, and that's when I found Maura.
Oh, it's so good to meet you in person.
My name is Maura. I'm 24 years old. I'm originally from Jakarta, Indonesia, but I live in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, and I'm getting my first tattoo today.
Are you excited for your tattoo?
So excited.
Nervous?
A little bit, but I'm really excited.
Okay.
I was planning to get my tattoo here, but knowing that Jake the cameraman, he said that it was painful toward the top of his forearm, so I'm planning to get it lower. So thank you, Jake.
At this point, I truly thought I was going to be able to give her a tattoo. She was down, I was down, but we sadly ran into a problem.
The reason why Lucie can't actually tattoo a person is because for New York City Health Code, we have to have a license if she's going to be handling anything that's going to come across blood.
While at first I was bummed to hear this, by the end of the day, I was beyond grateful that I didn't ink Maura because, well, you'll see. Before our appointment, Maura, Sarah Michelle, and I had a short call to discuss the tattoo design. At this meeting, Maura brought images that she'd saved with styles that she liked and things she was gravitating towards. Then the following week, we met at Ephemeral Tattoo for the big day. The moment I walked into the space, I was feeling creatively inspired. They had prints all over the wall showing past tattoos they'd administered. I had a chance to hear a bit about Sarah Michelle's background and quickly learned that this career path is no joke. Tattoo apprenticeships typically last between 1 to 3 years, sometimes longer depending on your mentor. Also, each state has unique requirements, but you can likely expect to fill out applications and take a few courses for pre-license certification. And then even after your apprenticeship and receiving a license, you'll likely need to renew it every few years. According to Indeed.com, the average salary for a tattoo artist in the US is about $59,000 per year. But Sarah Michelle very clearly explained that income can range drastically from one artist to the next. While an entry-level tattoo artist might bring in something like $30,000 a year, really well-known celebrity artists can easily be making 7 figures. I guess it's like any other field in that way. Next, Maura arrived and we immediately sat down to iron out the final design details.
This is just the starting point, so whatever changes you want to make, just feel free to let me know.
Although Sarah Michelle did most of the work designing the initial backbone of the tattoo, I was excited to jump in with some creative ideas that ultimately made their way into the final design.
See how the waves have this dimension?
Yeah.
I wonder what it would look like if the mountains kind of had that same touch to it.
I like that, actually.
Once the design was finished, I went into the studio with Sarah Michelle to prep the space. The cleanliness and sanitation was next level.
I feel like we're preparing for an operation.
I mean, kind of.
We had to wear our gloves at all times while setting up, and even just one touch of our skin or our hair, and we had to change into new gloves completely. I found this part very difficult, and I wound up going through multiple pairs of gloves.
My bad. I definitely am a hair toucher. If there's anything as we're working today that you consider to be grunt work, let me know. I'm happy to do it.
Before we could start the tattoo, we had to prep Maura's skin and apply a stencil of her design.
I think a bit up a little bit more to the left. Yep, yeah, this is good.
Oh my gosh. She's inked.
Nice.
Wow. This is a moment of truth.
No, wait, okay.
Since I wasn't actually able to administer the tattoo on Maura, we ordered some fake skin online that I brought in with me.
It doesn't really feel like skin, if I'm being honest. It feels like a piece of rubber.
Throughout my entire apprenticeship, I begged to use fake skin for a long time. They would not let me up until the very end because they didn't want me practicing bad habits because it's not the same.
So I will be learning a bad habit. But I don't think I'm ever going to be giving a real tattoo, so this is the best I'm going to get. All right, little skin. This is some real surgery.
I first prepped the piece of fake skin and applied the stencil to it.
Put A and D as like all over so that the ink doesn't stain this.
I am familiar with A and D,
Okay.
having a baby.
Ah, yes.
Ink is on the way.
So it was then time for me to observe the artist in action. I wanted a front row seat to see how she was handling the tattoo machine. But Maura actually asked if I could sit with her and hold her hand instead. So I wound up being more of an emotional support friend throughout the process.
And I'll start like with a little tiny dot, and that way you can get a feeling of it and tell me when you're ready.
Oh, okay.
Right?
We can keep going.
I did get to see how Sarah Michelle was working though, and it was incredible to watch how laser focused she was. She drew the straightest lines and was actually barely speaking to me at all unless she needed me to grab something for her as an assistant.
Honestly, I'm pretty happy that I'm not the one administering this. I don't know how I would feel.
I want to call out how appreciative I am of Sarah Michelle for being part of this video with me in the first place. I think it can be highly frowned upon in the tattoo community for someone to just pop in and try being a tattoo artist's apprentice randomly. These people spend years and years training, often in an unpaid capacity, and it truly takes such a high level of skill. So thank you, Sarah Michelle.
It's done?
I have to wash it with soap and make sure that there aren't any light spouts and reveals.
She has a tattoo.
It looked amazing. Most importantly though, Maura loved it. It made me so happy to see how happy she was.
You're welcome. So glad you love it.
It looks so cool.
It looks so cool.
As she went into a separate room to discuss post-tattoo care with someone from the team, I took to the studio with my piece of fake skin and got started.
Press it lightly. There you go. Now, just carefully, be careful not to poke yourself.
Okay.
So now you can try to do a line.
Okay.
Pick a line,
I think
any
I'll
line?
start with this top of the North Star.
Okay.
Oh, it's splattering, isn't it? Oh. Okay, a little jaggedy there.
It was hard. My lines were incredibly wiggly. I could not figure out the right amount of pressure to apply. And something even stranger, the needle was moving so quickly that my eye couldn't match up the tip of it properly with the skin.
Oh my God, I am not cut out for this. Wow, and I called myself an artist.
Overall, it could have been worse, but it definitely could have been a lot better. And I was so grateful that Maura got the better version of this tattoo on her skin, even though it was ephemeral. I hadn't planned on doing this when we first arrived for this shoot, but something about being in this space completely inspired me, and I made an on-the-spot decision to get an ephemeral tattoo myself. I settled on a small letter M. It has a lot of meaning for me over the past year of becoming a new mom and starting up our family. It stands for Mama, Michael, and Milo.
It's happening. Tell me when.
Okay, I'm gonna put a little dot in first.
Oh, not bad.
Okay. All right, now I'm gonna go for a line. Just don't move. Slow, deep breath.
Whoa. It's okay.
So yes, I went in to give a tattoo and wound up getting a tattoo. It was a big day for me.
It's so cool. Puma vibes.
I learned so much, and I'm so excited to be back at it with this series. Let me know what other jobs you'd like to see me try, and we'll see you next time on The Job.
Jake, you need to hold your hand too. Hold your hands together.